Thursday evening, welcome to it. Another special broadcast that is brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS. It's gone 7 minutes after 6 o'clock, and the name is Karabalance. Glad to be in your company for the next coming 1 hour. It's going to be jam-packed with information that's really going to help you live your life and live your life to the fullest. And that's what we're going to do this evening. And we do it every Tuesday and every Thursday. And this Thursday, tonight, it's not going to be any different. In fact, tonight, as always, is going to be jam-packed with that information. I'd like to invite you to be part of the program, and the way to do that is to phone in on our toll-free number. It's 0800 142 446, 0800 142 446. It's a toll-free number if you're going to be calling from a landline. Otherwise, if you're calling from a cell phone, it's very easy. Call us in, and we'll take your details, and we'll give you a call back. You're more than welcome to speak in any language of your choice. Sesotho, Sepedi, Sizulu, Xhosa, Sindebele, Siswati. You're more than welcome to speak in any language of your choice. So call us in 0800 142 446. It's episode number 10. And tonight, I beg your pardon, number 11. I saw my producer saying, what is he talking about? 10? No, it's episode number 11. Victor Tambe Taban. So it's episode number 11, and tonight we're going to be talking about bail. Yeah, that's a big word. And yeah. So we're going to be finding out a little bit about that, and I'm very excited in the studio. In fact, let me just breaking news, right? And I'm going to flaunt now. My producer said to me, no, don't take 20 minutes to flaunt. I know you can, but don't. Okay, I'll take 45. All right, I'm very excited this evening, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because it doesn't happen often that you meet somebody and they go away from your life, and the next time you're going to meet them is like 30 years down the line. And this is what's happening tonight. You will be surprised that the person that's sitting next to me right now is my primary school teacher, Sipho Letsoalo. Thank you so much, Mr. Sipho Letsoalo, National Prosecuting Authority. Welcome to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'm very pleased to be in this studio. Very pleased to see you. You're a grown-up man now.
It looks like it. It looks like it. But I'm very excited to have Letsoalo in the studio. My goodness me. You know, and when I saw him, I said to him, no, man, no, man. This face looks very familiar. And he says to me, I'm like, no, man. This face looks very, very familiar. Only to find that when we track back, this is the man that was teaching me in primary school. So I'm going to display that the English he taught me go primary school is coming into use. Let's say like Valley. 0800 142 446. Bail. That's what we're talking about this evening. What is bail? Let's understand, what is bail?
Look, bail is a contract. Now, why do we say it's a contract? It is because it is in terms of which any person that is accused, who is being held in custody, pays a certain amount of money for his liberty. It's either he pays money at a police station or he pays money at a court of law to secure his release from custody. Now, you know that South Africa has got a constitution, and this constitution guarantees rights. And the rights that are guarantees as well, the rights of the accused, are guaranteed by the constitution. To be precise, in terms of section 35 of the constitution, that is when the rights are guaranteed. But then a person deposits a certain amount of money, as I previously alluded to, for him to be released from custody on bail. Or not only released from custody when he pays money, he can also be released on warning. And how that happens is a person must qualify for bail. I guess that will be your next question. How Absolutely. Does a person qualify?
In fact, that's exactly what I was thinking in terms of the qualification thereof. I mean, where does somebody stand to be, to qualify for bail?
Now, a person qualifies for bail if the following happens. Now, a person who is arrested, the police opens a docket, arrest the person, place him at the police station. Thereafter, the person is taken to court. Now, at the court, a prosecutor reads the docket. After reading the docket, a determination is made at that time as to whether this person qualifies for bail. Now, what are the factors that are taken into account when it says a person qualifies for bail? For example, a person must have a fixed address. A person must be a person of good standing. Good standing means that he must not have have the potential to,
to skip the country or something like that. Yeah.
Well, going out of the country, yes, is one of the considerations, but he must be a person of good standing. Now, this person must not have convictions, previous convictions.
Okay.
Yes, because there are people with previous convictions, there are people with pending cases. Now, those people, at all material times, do not necessarily qualify for bail. You see, I'm using the words guardedly, because a person can get bail even if he has a previous conviction.
I was going to get there. I was going to say, okay, in fact, the listeners were even going to probably get there and say, but even those that have previous convictions, they've seen one or two of those getting bail.
Yes, that also happens. Now, you see, the granting of bail is not seen as a reflection of the failure on the part of the government or the state. The granting of bail is only to secure the attendance of that accused person on the next court appearance if he's granted bail at a court. That is the most important consideration. Now, that consideration is not taken very lightly. Remember, the purpose of bail is to strike a balance between the interest of society and the liberty of the accused. Now, that balance is very important.
How so? Let's go deeper into that.
Right.
When we talk about strike a balance between the accuser and the victim, how so?
A case has got a complainant. Now, this complainant is the one that reports the case to the police. Now, the complainant points at a certain person, and the person gets arrested. Now, what happens if he's committed a crime against the community? Now, the community will be looking at the courts to protect them and not have a person released on bail who will most probably come back and commit the same or similar offense or other offenses. Now, that balance needs to be struck. Now, what does the court look at? The court looks at, I've already mentioned that the person has got a fixed address. I've already mentioned that that person is not a flight risk. Now, by flight risk, we mean that if he's released on bail, he can skip the country, go and stay anywhere else. And that person must be a person who will not become a repeat offender, who will give the community problems. So those are some of the factors. They are not the only factors that are looked at. But in almost all situations, those factors are taken into account.
0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. We'd like to hear from you this evening. You're more than welcome to speak in any language of your choice. Sizulu, Sesotho, Sepedi, Setswana, Setebele, Seswati. All the languages welcome. If we don't get to understand your language, perhaps, which has never happened, hey, Linda? Linda shakes his head and saying, nah, it has never happened. Nah, not. So basically, you are welcome to speak in any language of your choice. So 0800 142 446. That's not the entry. Well, that's not the only entry point that we have. We are available on Twitter as well. It's at DOJCD_ZA. That's Twitter at DOJCD_ZA. On Facebook, it's the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. On Instagram, it's at DOJCD. And a bit later, you can just go and see a photo that we're going to take later. That's the best way to say it, man. You know, this teacher thing doesn't work for me, man. So you can go and take a photo. We're going to take a photo of me, Limenier, so you can see the guy that made it possible for me to be here today. Early stages of childhood. Can you believe it? Unfortunately, right? So, which brings me to my next question, really. Now, when the accused person apply for bail, who diragalang?
Right. Before we come to that, I think it is very important. That point must be put across very clearly, because we always have a problem where people are saying, Maramuto obulaile motho, for example, has committed murder. Mar shu o gona mo strateng go ra go fedile ka moka yona tseleng.
In fact, something that was happening that Letsoalo on Facebook, and you and I spoke about it earlier. A lot of people are talking about it on Facebook. I suppose a lot of people have seen it happen. Give that issue. Let's make a point in case. Issue ya the accused Baliba, the KFC incident that we saw in Pretoria North. Apparently, those accused are out at the moment, and people are talking on social media about it. Can we put it in perspective? We are not saying that's the case, Kabona, but something similar to that. What are some of the logistics that may have happened? It's not necessarily those people are out, they scot free, or they
Yeah. I remember when I came to the studio, the issue was a trending issue.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to be specific on the facts of the case.
Yes.
Because I don't know the facts of the case. But what I know has happened in that case, bail was denied to the 3 accused persons, initially in the magistrate court. Now, what happened was, at a later stage, bail was granted upon appeal by the attorney or by the accused at a court of a higher instance, which is a high court. And that happens. Now, I'll tell you why that happens. Kwe bail application, itoma, the 3 accused, that's a case in point. The complainant was in court. The people who were in court, they are members of the community in the gallery. They know bail is being denied.
At the time, yeah.
At the time.
Okay.
But
yeah. Okay, the judges said it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
They, okay?
Yes. But now people become surprised when they see those people in the street. Now why put you wrong?
Because we were there.
Yes, we were there.
We saw.
Bail was denied.
Yeah.
Good. Now, what has happened there was that what can happen is that bail, even if it's denied by a court of lower instance, for example, a magistrate court or a regional court, it is appealable. Go High Court. Not only that, in this instance, there was an appeal at the High Court, and the High Court granted them bail. Not only that, there is something called bail application on new facts. Now, that happens in this situation. When bail is denied to an accused person for various reasons, let's take an example. One of the reasons that bail could be denied is because the accused person who appears in court does not have an address.
Okay.
The police, upon the reporting of the case, were instructed by the prosecution to go and verify the address of the accused. Now, they come back and say to the prosecution, no, the accused does not have address. He does not stay there. Or that is his home, but the mother or the father does not want him there.
Okay.
That happens in a lot of instances.
So meaning the address, it's not direct. He does not have direct access to it. He does not live in that dwelling. Yeah.
It is his parental home,
okay,
but he does not stay there.
Okay.
He stays in the streets, maybe in Pretoria.
All right.
Now, what could happen later on, after bail is denied, when everybody has gone home who was in the bail application, they can bring a bail application on new facts. And that can happen this way. When say an uncle of the accused who stays in Limpopo decides, from custody ka bail, and he's going to make sure that he attends subsequent court appearances. I guess that is the most important part of bail.
For you
are granted bail on the proviso, you will come back and attend subsequent court hearings so that your matter then gets finalized. Now, this uncle goes and says to the police, no, if he is released on bail, I will stay with him. Now, here is my address. I stay in Seshego, Zone 3, number 345. Okay? Now, the police go there. They go and verify if that address exists. That is the most important thing. Who stays there and what happens. And thereafter, when the police come and have satisfied themselves that that address exists, they write that an affidavit, they come to court with that docket, and that docket is given to a prosecutor. The prosecutor must also satisfy himself that the information contained in the docket is information that is acceptable.
Right.
And then the bail application on new facts then comes into play. Remember, the bail application that was there was one on old facts.
Right.
Now the one on new facts comes into play. Now the new fact there will be that in the first instance, this accused did not have an address, but in the second instance, he now has an address. If that is the only basis on which bail was denied, then that application can be made, and then it depends also on the magistrate or the judge to grant bail. That is his prerogative.
0800 142 446, 0800 142 446. Tsepo in Klerksdorp. Good evening to you, sir. Tsepo, you're in Klerksdorp. Good evening. Simfake Bondin. Tsepo, Klerksdorp. Good evening. Ritenda Dogaina.
Dumela Tate Tsepo.
Re tlotse man. Potso ha o re. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Tsepo from Klerksdorp. Really appreciate it. One of our regular callers, by the way, Tsepo there from Klerksdorp. 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. I'd like to hear from you. 24 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock. Thank you so much to all the radio stations who are taking part in this broadcast this evening. You don't know the difference that you're making in your... Maybe you do, but let me just say that, you know what, it's big what you're doing for your community, because the stuff that we deal with here, it goes a long way. It helps a lot of people who don't have information. We get to learn ourselves as well. So thank you so much for making this available to your listeners. 0800 142 446. I'd like to ask my telephone assistant to please push those callers very quickly, because time is flying really, and I would like to take as many callers as possible. So let's do that. Let's talk about the questions that Tsepo has asked and Sipho Letsoalo. Okay, let's start with this one. And it's a very interesting one. I can't on TV. Toluguti know they go there, protest outside the courts. Can that have an influence in the outcome of the bail hearing itself? In other words, if people are more and they're chanting their slogans outside, Ngamki, and all of that stuff, can that have an influence to the one that's presiding in terms of the outcome of the hearing?
Thank you very much once again, Sipho. You have put two very important questions. Let's start with the first one. Now, if you look on TV, because that's where we get a lot of our information from, it's visual. You can see people chanting. It does happen. The courts are enjoined by law in terms of the provisions of Section 60, subsection 4, subsection A up to E. Now, provisions in terms of those sections, more especially Section 60, subsection 4E, takes into account the interest of the community.
Okay.
It takes into account that interest. Now, the court will have to look at the following to say, if this person is released on bail, will that cause any havoc in the community? That is one of the considerations. Remember, in bail applications, the whole evidence that is brought by the accused person is taken in totality. It's not taken piecemeal. One of the factors is one that we've mentioned, the address. One is not a flight risk. And then the other one that will be taken into account is the interest of the community. And therefore, that may have an influence on the outcomes. But we have to, put it very clear to the listeners that protests and actions that are taken by members of the community outside of the court are not what the court would necessarily take into account use in terms of refusal of bail. The courts are
or
not,
the granting thereof,
or the granting of bail, or the refusal thereof.
Yeah.
The courts may take that into account, but it is not prescriptive. It is not to say that because people are out in the streets, then the court must refuse bail.
So it doesn't mean when there's 1,000 people outside or 10,000 people around saying this, even like the trial, the Rivonia trial. In spite of the numbers outside, no, it must not happen. But the accused still were sentenced to Robben Island. So, get something say.
Indeed.
So it does not mean the numbers outside, hadiri yes or no, the verdict is going to come that way.
Based on that influence only.
Yes.
There are a lot of factors that are taken into account before bail is granted or before bail is refused.
0800 142 446. Some kiki and I just hold on a little bit. Let's just tackle Tsepo's last question and we'll take your question just now. The last one from Tsepo, multiple accused.
Yes.
Yeah. So, or Tsepo, hardly four, if it's the four of us accused, right? And then we all apply for bail. But Tolagu to know. Karabo gets one for 200 rand, and then Linda gets one for 1,000 rand, and Tata Letsoalo gets one for 15,000. But we've done the same crime. We've committed the same crime. We were together there. How does it work?
Right. The way when an amount of bail is set, one of the most important factors that is taken into account is the risk factor. Now, what do we mean by that? A person who stays in the streets, some magistrates will say that this person has got an address. He stays on the corner of Skuman and Potgieter Street. But then the magistrate will put a high amount of bail to secure the attendance of the person at court. Now, a higher amount is not an amount that the person can lose easily. So that will force him to come to court, because when the matter is finalized, then he gets his bail money back. So a higher amount makes people to be, attentive most of the time to court proceedings, and they don't skip the country or escape or do anything. A lesser amount, a person can afford to lose very easily. But a lesser amount is almost always fixed where the risk is less.
Right.
And one other thing that I need to mention is, it becomes a problem when people think that a person who stole a chocolate from a shop will almost always get bail than a person who commits murder. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, really?
Yes, it doesn't. Now, let me give you a scenario. A person steals a chocolate from one of the retail shops. This person does not have a fixed address. He's got 19 previous convictions. Okay? A person commits a crime of murder. He's got no previous conviction. He's got a fixed address. He's got a fixed employment. Now, when you look at those scenarios, you will think, but murder is a very serious offense, which is, it is a very serious offense.
Yeah.
And theft is less serious than murder. But this person who commits theft does not get bail. But the one who commits murder got bail. Now, you ask yourself that question. Now, it is because of the situation that both accused find themselves in a situation where one accused qualifies for bail and the other accused does not qualify for bail. Which brings me to the fact of presumption of innocence.
Right.
Every accused person is presumed innocent until he is proven guilty by a competent court of law. That is the presumption.
0800 142 446 0800 142. Something just happened in the studio and I was not ready for that, but nonetheless it's radio. My social media producer just brought me my computer. Now I brought my child here. Normally she's here most of the time when you do these shows.
Yeah.
So on my computer, on my laptop. Now, my social media producer brings this laptop for me to go and check the social media stuff that's been said. But the page, it's open. So I'm thinking, Now, what do I got to do with Barbie now all of a sudden? You know, Barbie, and I'm thinking, is Barbie posing a question this evening? No. What he's trying to do really is just to help me to get access to the internet so I can see some of these Facebook questions that are coming through. Like this one that's came through from Bonga Mbogazi. Bonga wants to find out what happens when one is arrested and released after paying a fine. Does that give one a criminal record for how long, if any? We'll tackle that. But for now, let's take Samke in Greytown. Good evening to you, Samke. Samke, Greytown.
Hello.
Kunjani Samke?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Ngiyaphila mawami. Umbuzo wakho uthini?
Yebo, ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ngingachazelwa kabanzi ukuthi ngingakwazi kanjani ukuthi ngithole imali kababa eyayivayeleke esibhedlela eminyakeni 2004 kuze kube manje angakaze ngize ngiyithole ukuthi ngithanda nje ukuthi ngikuyalela ukuthi ngingashona kuphi.
Okay, Samke, thank you so much for calling in. Siyabulela ma. I think Samke is talking about one of the most popular programs we've had. Is that one, the Guardians Fund? Remember, we had an interesting subject on Guardians Fund, and a lot of people came with questions after that, and Samke is one of them. Samke, I tell you, sizoenza sources, ama-details wakakhona sizowathatha siyanikeza uVictor. Victor will point you to the right direction in terms of people that can help you with regards to issues of Guardians Fund. Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate it. Let's go to Sikhukhune, and we're chatting to Success in Sikhukhune. Success? Let's see how successful we can be in taking this caller here. Success?
Hey, Karabo.
Le guy. Yeah,
LTJ warra Thobela.
Okay, put you ke mathomo mabapile gore e ka re ge o swerone then daily o ka ba wa gopela gona letsatsing lona le la le hone at the same day or re tsondere o ye gopele o tloletse pele ga gore ya tsheko.
Okay,
then ke moka ka moraga fa re bontse o tswile ka daily then wa khone gore ge o ene ntse le ya dikhoto ka morago wa sa bone molato o kgona gore o ka tswa gopela bail le go ka pele ka yona na
pay back the money.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Re leboga Success. Re leboga re wena o tsere mogala wa gago o tle o re founele tshitshina le gona kere.
Yeah.
There we go. Success listening via Sikhukhune Community Radio. Thank you so much to the guys, Sikhukhune Community Radio. 25 minutes before 7 o'clock. It's amazing how time flies when we're having fun, really, with information that can really benefit us. 0800 142 446. Ariye jwalo Ntate Letsoalo.
Thobela. Success. Bail, for the benefit of other listeners as well. O ga khopela go police station. You can ask for bail from a police station. And that is regulated by law. It's in terms of the provisions of Section 59, capital A. Now, that is bail that is done by a prosecutor at a police station. When you are arrested, also go police station, you have a right ya go ba le legal representation, ileng attorney. O atlo yang go police station, and once mapulisa go charge for a particular offense, then he can make the application for bail. Then what will happen is, during the olden days, no ya court or by night court. You remember what is used to happen. A magistrate would go to court, would be on standby, a prosecutor would go to court, you'd go into a court building, and then you discuss the issue of bail.
Right.
These days, it's not done like that. In terms of this section, it's a prosecutor's bail. The prosecutor goes to the police station, he reads the docket. He has to read the docket to satisfy himself whether you qualify for bail. And thereafter, the police, what they would have done in terms of investigation, they would have confirmed your address. They would have done your profile in terms of your criminal life or in terms of your life, more into contact with the law and the police. Once he satisfied himself, you don't have a criminal record, you don't have a case that is pending, and you've got a fixed address, then the prosecutor might fix bail. Might fix bail. Now, there are situations For example, where a prosecutor might not fix bail. For example, when it's robbery with aggravating circumstances where a firearm was used, a prosecutor is not allowed to fix bail under those circumstances. A prosecutor is not allowed...
Is that legislated as well?
Yes, it's legislated.
Right.
The prosecutors, in terms of prosecution policy as well,
Yes.
is not allowed to fix bail.
Circumstances they die.
Yeah, if let's say it's a theft of a motor vehicle, you can't fix bail there because the amount would exceed an amount of 20,000 rand.
Oh.
It is kept at that
Right.
in terms of prosecutors' bail.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So prosecutor's bail is kept at
20,000.
Okay. All right.
Now, the second question, kega bail money. Now, he says, he molato go fedile success. Molato go fedile, let's say,
O se molato.
a ona molato.
Eh.
Le ge o ka ba le molato.
When you're not guilty, right?
Even if you are found guilty, bail money, ya khona gore o e hwetše, as long as the matter is finalized.
Okay, wait. Let me just try to get. So it's not a matter of saying that when you're guilty you're not going to get your bail money.
Not.
So bail money is only for securing you to, or securing the perpetrator to come for the bail hearing.
Yes, it is a guarantee.
So when they come and they're found not guilty or guilty, they can get their bail money back.
Yes. Not only when you are found guilty or not guilty, even when the case is withdrawn or when the case is struck off the roll. Now, there's a difference there. A prosecutor withdraws a case, a magistrate strikes a case off the roll. Now, even in those situations, you get your bail money back. Now, I've quoted four. One is when you are found guilty, the matter is finalized, you are sentenced. The person who deposited the bail money is the person who is going to get back the bail money. Na ke le Letsoalo, go na le success. Success ke ena ne ba moswere. Na ke le Letsoalo ka mo patella bail. Success a re ga fitla ko court ba mmona molato. Nna ke ya ko ke swere receipt le ID ke fitla mola ke rawa molato fedile ko clerk of the court because they capture information mo the system. They will know what is finalized. We have a charge sheet, we have clerk of the court. They will know it's finalized. And then ba fan nna ke le Letsoalo bail money. I patetse ke nna. When success, I go which question is found guilty. Le success ba sa mmona molato. Nna ke le Letsoalo ke patetse bail.
Why?
Ke I claim a bail money because at that time ga sana molato o answerang.
Right.
The third instance is when success o patetse bail ga fitla court prosecutor ere matter is withdrawn because of lack of evidence. Nna ke le Letsoalo gape ke dira ke tšea bail receipt ID go claim a bail money. In the fourth instance molato wa ya re go shota investigation. Re tsena go court but a magistrate or no, there's investigation that is still outstanding. Magistrate wa molato na le dikgwedi tše ntši on the court roll. Remember, it's kept at 6 months. In district courts, you must finalize that matter.
In 6 months?
Yes. If it's not finalized, the magistrate might say, ke kgale le investigator, the state had an opportunity to investigator 1, 2, 3. From more, I'm striking this matter off the roll. Nna ke le Letsoalo, success ke accused, was striking the matter off the roll, ke tšea bail money, bail receipt, ID, I go claim my bail money back.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. 0800 142 446. I've been to KZN over the past couple of weekends, and let's see how Mazulu fares. Ngizocela bakithi ukuthi nani nibe part of this broadcast yalusuku lwa namhlanje. Ningenishayela ucingo 0800 142 446. Ungeke ukhokhe lutho ngempela. Kumahala nje. Mawushaya nge-cellphone yakho sizothatha amanamba wakho sizokushayele ngamuva. Am I right, hey? Yeah, I'm there. Let's take Reverend J. Maestri calling from Phoenix.
Yes.
Rev Maestri.
Yes, I am.
Peace on to you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are
I'm
you?
very well, thank you so much. What is your question or comment?
I've heard all the statements concerning bail.
Yeah.
And that subject has been haunting me for a long time. And I've been thinking, about people who are standing, in front of the court and raising up their placards, saying that this person should not get bail. This person should rot in jail.
Right.
And this person shouldn't be allowed, outside.
Yes.
Now, when we really look at the word bail, it is coming from a scriptural point of view. This is God sent for a victim. He has hurt somebody or stolen, or he is a prisoner, and bail is something for him for security. So, for him not to be led out or kept out, in public, but kept in jail, for security purposes until his case comes up. Because outside the jail, in public, he can get killed, he can get hurt, he can get shot.
Right.
So bail is something now, is a security for a person. Now, every person belongs to God. They don't belong to anyone else.
What?
If that person has done something wrong,
Yeah.
The law takes its course. But we need to look into this. Why these people are outside the court office, they don't know what they are doing.
All right.
They don't know.
Rev, I think I get your point. I think it's very interesting that you're coming from a Christian perspective, and we really appreciate that. And that's how one can look at it as well. But let's be careful. Let's be careful while we do these things. There's nothing wrong with seeing things on a spiritual perspective, all right? But we must understand some of these things are dealt with on a legislative, if I can put it that way, on a legislative platform. It's very good that we're seeing it from that point where one is kept in, bail, is making sure that one comes back to court, and that's exactly what the law says. But we really appreciate it, Reverend, for calling in from Phoenix. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've got a string line of people waiting to come in, and let's take them. Thank you so much for your call. Let's go to Danny from Lekwa FM. My supervisor says Lohoa, and every time I laugh when he says that. It's Lekwa. Good evening to you, Danny.
Hey, la dumela bontate be re phele le ka tsena ka jana.
E re phetse ntate wena.
Dumela Tate Teddy.
Di ngata go le dipotso tsa ka ke se bo rena nka qala ka sena.
Ke kopa o ska di etsa di be ngata nke o mphe one re ke re fe ba bang e chance hore ba phone le bona.
Kona le tšhelete ne patalang police station mona ha batho ba bana di ditefatsi ba tshwereng bo weekend ba tlo patala maybe bo Sontaga kapa Monday e ba tsamaya ba hlaile court. Na le yona yo di ja be di na tšhelete ya teng. Nakong ya ho etsa kopo ya beili motho o tshwanela hore a hlaela ha kae ka pona le khotela dinyewe pele a tla a fuwa beili le hore ke motho a le mong a ka thola beili makgetlong a makae ba jaki kapa batho ba tswang ka ntle ba leng ka ho Afrika Borwa ka mo na bona ba dumelele hore ba fuwe beili ka tlasa mabaka a feng ha ba fuwa beili bontate ke di hafotse ke le buile ke a tshepa Deni Hendri Mogomo.
That's good. Brother Danny, you can tell you're coming from a radio station, man. Thank you so much. That signature signing off type of thing when you do the news, Yeah, I can lead Damazibugo. Yeah, that type of thing. Hey, I'll call George Maholo. 14 minutes just before 7 o'clock. 0800 142 446. I tell you what we're going to do in that day. Let's just try to keep the answers short. I'll tell you why. Yes. Those lights, as you can see them flashing on the other side, is people wanting to get through. So I'm trying to give them a chance to also have a say. Let's shoot.
The first question, Danny,
yes,
from Lekwane. The Chelete Patelang is called an admission of guilt fine. Especially more, he mentioned the case here, the drugs. If it's Dacha, you can pay an admission of guilt fine at a police station. You will not appear in court if the money has been paid. It says when you come to court, then the bail, the admission of guilt fine is fixed. That matter is dealt with.
Okay.
Well, but remember, you have a criminal record.
That's exactly what I was trying.
You have a criminal record when that has happened.
Any type of admission of guilt.
Yes, any type of admission of guilt. You are saying, I admit that I'm guilty, and therefore When you pay the fine, you say, you have found me guilty as charged and I'm paying.
Okay, let's talk about this one, okay? Yeah, the ticket. The ticket is traffic offenses.
Yes.
When you pay those, you want a criminal record?
Not for traffic offenses.
Oh.
It is only when you go to court. Yes. No, which way? Yeah. It is only when you go to court. It's more instance that you have mentioned now. Just something at the traffic fines. I didn't want to get into that topic because it is not directly related to the crime.
Let's not get into detail. Just yes.
Yes. Traffic fine. If you go to court, if you say you don't agree with what the traffic officers has written there, you get an opportunity, you're court. If you go to court and then waseka, like any other case, and you're found guilty, you'll have a previous conviction.
10 minutes just before 7 o'clock, 0800 142 446. Lindiwe from Soweto. This is not the Lindiwe you know, by the way, Lindiwe, before we take you, Lindiwe, yeah, no, it's fine. Lindiwe, before we take you, just hold on a bit. Dadalazwalo just wants to highlight the last one quickly, and then we're going to come to you. Hold on, Lindiwe.
Very important question. How many times can a person get bail? A person can get bail more than once if he qualifies to get bail. Remember, the issue of bail is the prerogative of the magistrate. When the prosecutor he raises an objection to bail, or as I oppose. An objection, I mean I oppose a bail. The court might still grant bail even if it's opposed. As I oppose, the court might still deny bail even if the prosecutor is opposing. It's not opposing. It works in its
So it's whose prerogative?
It is the magistrate's prerogative to grant or to deny bail. That is very important. It is not the prosecutor. It is the magistrate.
Talking about the word prerogative, just to, put a smile on somebody's face. This word prerogative, I've heard it from my 5-year-old. Oh. I'm being serious with you. She used the word prerogative on me and the mom while we were doing gardening. And I was like, her mom was saying, no, don't take those stones and put them there. And she said to her mom, no, but these stones are lighter, so it's my prerogative. I was like, okay. Lindiwe from Soweto. Good evening to you, Lindiwe. Lindy from Soweto. Fakebondeni. Lindiwe Soweto.
Yebo, Lindiani.
Lo akusiyena uLindiwe lo. Ba Petros, Soshanguve.
Nega baba.
Ronald Gam.
Yona.
Rubla Lamangkan.
Petros Matiye.
Awa ke kwelo fela o wa se Lindiwe. But Ntate Petros, thank you so much for calling in. Pushal Nairi. Yeah. Okay, but nagrile bail. I say court, okay, and then bata ba motse. Okay.
So next month,
so he's in custody right now as we speak. As we speak. Okay. What is it that you want to know relating to this, Petros? What is it exactly that you would like to know? But tubala gabatli court or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, but
who are they? Are they victims? Who are they? Okay, so Wanyana, okay, now if I may, am I using the correct term? Victim, the complainant,
or co-accused.
Complainant. Okay, so Wanyana, okay, na ilenga ilo twarisa, basically. Let's put it that way.
Correct.
All right. So, honibela at the court.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Petrus. We heard it.
All right. Yeah, no more ya ke 751 mo di BP.
Au wa ban Petrus we no skwa fa batho nomoro ga go ka ga ba le batla ba go
All right.
hey ba le batla go re wan kan ba le batho ba tata bo but hey okay thank you so much.
All right.
Oh no, it's live radio. It's live radio. 0800 142 446. Kitjoge.
Ntate Petrus, what might have happened? Get might because I got sort of case docket.
Hey.
Mushimano aya court. And also a court. After being released on bail, remember, go patela bail, we patela gore it will secure gore mo ena o te court attendance. Ketabo. Upon paying that money, it's an expressed or implied undertaking. Yeah, or I'll come back to court. Right. Go fetch when I would. Now what happens is that court, a warrant of arrest is authorized, and go patela bail money is provisionally forfeited to the state. Now, it is provisional upon a certain period, 14 days, or hopefully within that 14 days. On the next appearance, the bail money will be finally forfeited to the state. Now, he forfeited warrant of arrest is bench warrant is called the J165. He bench warrant in 2 months about which, then bench J50. They can circulate you, whole of the country, ports of entry, everywhere else. The roadblock, the roadblock yes. So that happens. Now, when that happens, you go to court. An inquiry is conducted. And then her inquiry is conducted, blame is on your part as the accused. Then the magistrate might keep you in custody until this matter is finalized. But he raised another important fact. But what's what he's saying about?
Complainant doesn't
turn up.
Yeah.
Now, the complainant will not go to court if the complainant is not subpoenaed to go to court. Complainant at the court. When you are arrested until when investigation is finalized, complainant does not come to court. The complainant comes to court when the matter is trial ready and you are subpoenaed, the complainant is subpoenaed to come to court. And Rafika court, on the date of trial, trial is Lampelu.
So, Ogasek and the complainant, let me put it that way.
No.
Okay, but then how complainer are Rabat court? What does he mean? I wish I could ask him. I shouldn't be asking you this. But or the complainant can be subpoenaed to come to court. Okay, before the subpoena, what happens? What is it that's happening in between?
Investigations are carried out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is not, the matter is not trial ready. When it is trial ready,
then
the complainant and all other witnesses are subpoenaed to come to court.
Right. Let me throw a spanner in the works. What if they don't? What if they don't? When the trial is now matured, it can go to trial. The case can go to trial.
Right.
What if they don't come?
Court roll management is done. The prerogative of the magistrates. They're the ones who set the dates. Now, on that date, when the matter is set for trial, the complainant is not there. The witnesses are not there, but they have been properly subpoenaed. Subpoena return of service. The magistrate will then be shown how these people have been properly subpoenaed and they're not at court. One of two things might happen. Either the prosecutor withdraws the case or the magistrate might strike the matter of the roll.
Immediately, or can somebody say, about postponement, we ask him that you postpone the matter since the witnesses are not here?
Yes.
Is that the other option?
That is the other option that was coming to. Because these two, the reason I started with them, then, if the accused is arrested and is in custody, if that happens, he'll be released. If the prosecutor withdraws or the matter struck off the roll. But if this person or Aling in custody, the prosecutor makes an application. Remember, it's an application. It can be acceded to or it can be denied. The prosecutor makes an application to the magistrate to say the witnesses are not here. Maybe they've not been properly subpoenaed. The magistrate might, I'd say, matter or offer another date.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. 0800 142. Let me do this. Let me take another caller quickly. How about that, Linda? Okay. 0800 142 446. Mama Jola from Dwendwe. Mama Jola.
Yebo sobona baba.
Kunjani mama?
Ngiyaphila mkhulu njani?
Siyaphila mawami. Umbuzo wakho uthini?
Yebo baba ukhuluma nobaba Majola lapha eNdwedwe. Ngilalele kuSithuthuka 97.6 FM.
Awuzweke siyabonga.
Ngicela ukubuza baba ukuthi ibail ake ngikhuluma mhlambe ngecala elikhulu eqondene njengokubulala. Uma umuntu ethola ibail noma enkantolo bemnika ibail, ungani ethola ibail azokwazi ukuyimela ukuyikhokha? Ebe ebulele lo muntu ezophumela ngaphandle ahambe bambone ngisho laba abalahlekelwe ilunga lomndeni. Kungani ibail ingahambisani nesimo umuntu noma icala asuke elenzile na? Ngiyabonga kakhulu baba.
Ngiyabonga umama Jola from Ndwendwe. Elvis, I nearly said Presley. You see, Presley was actually living in the States. This is one from Cape Town. Good evening to you, Elvis. Elvis.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Good evening to you.
Okay.
Okay. Can we call that line back? That line is giving us a problem. While we do that, maybe let's tackle this question here, Mama Jola, quickly. Now, she wants to find out the bail money. Say, for instance, somebody's committed murder, gets bail, granted bail. Why is it that the bail is set at a price or at an amount where somebody can pay that money? And she continues to say, why is it not that maybe bail should be set as according to the crime that is committed? So I presume if it's murder, set it at a very high amount.
Indeed. You see, one of the basic tenets, is that if bail is set, then it means the person qualifies.
Mm-hmm.
He could also be released on warning without paying a cent. Mama, lo muntu lo, ibail yakhe bayiseta because ufanele akwazi ukuyibhadala, otherwise there's no point in setting of bail which a person cannot afford.
How do they ascertain somebody can pay that amount?
A mini inquiry is held.
Right.
If he's got an attorney, the attorney will say in court that this person earns 1,000 rands. He works piece jobs, normally what they call them piece jobs. He works piece jobs. He earns 1,000 rands. There's nobody else. He's taking care of 2 kids and all those, submissions that that person can make. And then the magistrate, based on that, will be able to grant an amount of bail which the person affords. And in terms of the law, there's a case, State versus Atchison, which said bail should not be used as anticipatory punishment. Remember the presumption of innocence?
Uh-huh. Until somebody's proven guilty.
When you set an amount of bail that is very high, that could be construed as anticipatory punishment. And a person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now, bail money, that's how bail money is set. But let's come back to a case which everybody knows, Oscar Pistorius case.
Mm-hmm.
Bail was set at an amount of 1 million rands.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not a million rand in cash. Part of the money, part of the bail was in hard cash and part was in security in terms of a house that was provided for security.
Right.
So under those circumstances, because they knew that he's got houses everywhere, even overseas, he can afford to put up a security of a house and even put a certain amount of money. That was predetermined in terms of the inquiry, mini inquiry that was held, to say this is what he can afford.
Very interesting. You're very, very interesting. 0800 142 44. No, it's Linda. No, Linda shakes his head. He says he didn't even know that. I didn't even know it myself. Linda, we're learning, really, seriously, man. All right, just before I go to Padco Aliwal North, let me do this. There's another Facebook inquiry that came in, and let me tackle that quickly. Somebody says, this is actually Nyauza at Kunga Wogandlela. There we go. Kunga Wogandlela. Nyauza says, can you please tell me if a person has committed an offense, becomes a Section 204 state witness? Shapagadi Teme this evening, I'm telling you now. Section 204 state witness without being charged and arrested. Let's tackle that, and then we'll go to Padco. Padco, hold on. We're coming to you now.
Right. That simply means it's a person that could be taken and changed if he has the knowledge of the case, either when he's an accused, and most probably he'll be a co-accused of the person that is accused.
Okay.
He can be turned into a state witness because he has got knowledge of what actually transpired
right
in that case. Now, that person is not necessarily found not guilty. That person can be given immunity from prosecution. I say can or may because it is not peremptory. It does not follow that if he becomes a Section 204 witness, then automatically gets immunity from prosecution. No, it does not happen that way.
Right, let's take Padco, LOL North. Thank you so much for holding. Padco? Ndade.
Waphila.
Kiyaphila wena?
Lena kiyaphila. Di dibisitse lo ntate ka mono ntatelze.
Ke a o dumedisa ntate Padco.
Nna diputso la etsa A1 ka gobane ke botsa ke nako.
Yeah.
Ke batla o tseba ntate. Ntatelzela o bile ka ntho ya bail. Ha ntse ba ntho ya bail a re no, o tlamele be teng o Taiwan, mo tshata ka fumana bail a re I commit mhlomong o dula le malome. Ha ka hlokala he no malume ntwena no muthe a ngodisitse malume kapo a ile I commit gore no o tla mo sheba always o tlamele a ye court o tla ya di yena and then am support. So no aka hlokala malume o tla etsa la nka motho yana bani malume o ile I commit o sa le motho mong hape no ya le wa holo gama mela utakalani.
Thank you so much, Padco. Thank you so much, Takalani Community Radio and the listeners of the station for taking part. We really, really appreciate it. We've got about 2 minutes to go. Let's see if you can answer this one, and it's a wrap.
The person who is an accused person who's granted bail, it is his responsibility. You see, if it was a minor who was granted bail, the person who is a guardian is equally responsible when the minor does not come to court. But if it's a person who's over the age of 21, is a major, or over the age of 18 in the circumstances, does not go to court, a warrant will be issued. He still has the responsibility to go to court. If at any given time he does not go to court, a warrant will be issued and the bail money will be forfeited to the state.
Okay, so basically he just needs to go to court and say, the person that you gave the bail, I'm here to say he's not there. What happens there? What could possibly happen after that?
He does not have the responsibility. As I said, if he's not a minor, you have to go to court on your own. There's no guardian who's going to take you to court. A warrant will be authorized. That is easy. If you're a minor, then the person on the guardianship, then you can go to court and say this guardian is no longer in existence.
But like a robot. Yeah, no, I mean, look, if he's not there to take care of you, if he's not there to do what he told the court that he's going to do, in other words, you're going to have to just step back, Malins, and say, look here, please. Right, it's gone 5 minutes after 7 o'clock, and that's where we have to leave it for today. So much that we have learned. I'm really grateful for this show, and hopefully we could do it again next week. Not next week, well, next time, really. Next week we're going to be dealing with something else, and we'll definitely communicate it to the stations. Letsoalo, is there something that you would like to maybe just one or two before we go?
Yes, just important point. I'm surprised people did not ask Hore why taba 7 days. You know that on the first appearance of a person, the state can ask for a postponement 7 days for investigations. Now, that is in terms of Section 50, subsection 6, subsection D, where a court will grant a postponement for further investigations if there is insufficient evidence on which a decision can be taken by a court, or a state procure material evidence before a bail application, or if it's necessary in the interest of justice.
But what happens that 7 days? Does this person now stay in custody, or do they go out?
He stays in custody. It's just all that. He stays in custody because that is allowed by law. And remember, it is not only for a period of 7 days. It is 7 days at a time. If 7 days elapses, next week the prosecutor comes and says, there's a witness that is in Durban that we need for this bail application. 7 days, it might be granted. It is 7 days at a time.
But time frame, we're going to wrap it up now. I just want to, just quickly, a time frame 6 months or something. So the 7 days are not accumulated to the 6 months.
They get counted. In terms of policy, any case for district court is supposed to be dealt with within 6 months. And Patia, when it starts, so not 7 days, they will accumulate until it's investigated, until trial, but it's supposed to be less than 6 months.
There we go. 6 after 7 o'clock, that's where we're going to have to leave it for this evening. Thank you so much to all the radio stations who've called in. Thank you so much for the listeners who've called in, really. Thank you to Apple from Klerksdorp. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Samke in Greytown. Success, Skukuni. Reverend J. Maestri, thank you so much for bringing it from a spiritual point of view. We really appreciate it. Danny from Lekwa, Lindy West Soweto, Petros Sochanguve, Mama Jolandwendre, Elvis in Cape Town. We couldn't take your call. We apologize for that, Elvis. And finally, Padco wrapping it all up with a very interesting question. We really, really appreciate it. It has been a live broadcast brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, episode 11. And this evening we were dealing with bail. Our guest in the studio, none other than my primary school teacher. I promise you, I'm telling the truth. It's not a joke. We are going to take a quick photo. We're going to post it on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. If you want to go check it out on Twitter, it's at DOJCD_ZA, Instagram DOJCD, and on Facebook, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. What is his name? None other than Sipho Letsoalo, Menier, coming from the National Prosecuting Authority. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Really appreciate it. It's been awesome. From myself, Karabalanso Stolana Sabapil Batabele, Taritogele Mo, Ciao for now.